If you're watching this video, chances are you're probably a parent or someone that cares about someone else who has had some alcohol and they're underage. Everywhere in the country, drinking age is 21. And while when we were growing up, it may have been 18. Heck, when I was coming up, our first driver's licenses weren't even plastic. They were a piece of paper, didn't have a picture on them. And it's gotten more serious now, and probably for a good reason. I think we finally recognized that drinking at a younger age tends to end up with more problems in the future. One, it's illegal just because it's illegal, but two, it's illegal because on a developing mind, we've determined it's not a good idea to make it more difficult by adding alcohol. So we see these cases, well, I don't know if it's every day, but a whole lot of them. There are trends in law and courts. We see oscillations, up and down periods. Underage possession of alcohol cases, we see a lot trending in the fall, where people are going off to school or going off to colleges. We also see them in the spring when younger adults in high school are starting to attend prom and going to different parties. Maybe they're getting ready to graduate. We see a lot of them in the summertime, which coincides with concert season. So if you're going to one of the concert venues in town, maybe you're out there with a bunch of people and everyone's got a beer, and I'm just sitting there holding a beer because it's, you know, the cool thing to do, or whatever, you know, the social pressure's been put there. So we see underage possession or illegal possession of alcohol cases across the board. And sometimes people just don't take them serious. They go to court, they plead guilty, and they don't realize there were options, or they listen to, you know, the story, some anecdotal story that I know so-and-so, and he just went to court and the DA said, well, you're a nice guy, I'm gonna dismiss the case. Well, I don't doubt that that does occasionally happen. I don't think that's a realistic perspective of the courts. This, you know, underage possession is not the type of offense where you're gonna be cracking rocks in a chain gang at Department of Corrections. It is a type of offense that's kind of embarrassing when you're my age, you're in your 50s, and you're trying to explain, you know, your mistakes or misjudgments in the past. We also see underage possession of alcohol cases tied with, and this is a common trend in all criminal law, to be honest with you, with other types of offenses. Underage possession and possession of marijuana. Underage possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. If you got the marijuana, you got to have something to smoke the marijuana in. Underage possession and possession of a fraudulent or fake ID. Underage possession and use of a fraudulent or fake ID. Underage possession and driving a motor vehicle, which enhances that because now you're looking at, you know, what we call a provisional DWI. You know, you can't have any amount of alcohol if you're under 21 and drive a car. And while it's technically different than a driving while impaired, it's treated very, very similar in the court system. And so it's very rare do I see just solely an underage possession, maybe at the concert venues where they just write everyone a ticket and whatever. Before you do anything, call us. If we think this is something you can handle yourself, if we think you go to class, depending on the jurisdiction, some jurisdictions have them, some jurisdictions don't, we'll tell you. If we think we can show some way to help you out and explain why you want a lawyer, we'll tell you that as well. Our consultations are free. We don't charge anything to talk to us. They're confidential. So if you're the under 21 person, and we're not going to call up your parents and say, guess what Junior did, all right? We keep things private. That's the whole point of having a lawyer, is that the courts and our system of justice wants you to get good legal advice. It's one of your primary rights as a citizen. Therefore, they want you to be honest with your lawyers, and the way that it's encouraged is that you're assured that what you tell me, what you tell us as lawyers, doesn't leave the room. We'll take a look at things, we'll tell you the fact scenario, we'll tell you what we think is the most appropriate way to proceed. Either way, give us a ring. We're here to help. That's why our telephone number is 704-342-HELP. That's 704-342-4357. Look forward to hearing from you.